what it was like to move from this big corporate
Yeah.
to, in a sense, developing something that's
Sure.
like a team. You know,
Yeah.
there's no I in team.
So first would be what I get to lead with. In that world, it was, like I said, it was commoditized and it was product, and it was hard to separate myself from the product I represented. And people had a perception of the product. I didn't get to capture 100% of those opportunities because it was dictated by what was in the bag. This is about me and the relationships I build and the value I bring to my partners. The move was phenomenal though, because so think about that big corporate culture.
Yeah.
And then now working for this lean, mean, family-owned company. So we'll have a meeting, Mark and I, with a coach or anyone, and we'll identify the system's working, but there's maybe a gap or a tweak needs to be made. Well, after that meeting with Mark, he goes right back to the back office, meets with his personnel. We close that gap instantaneously versus the corporate machine where you got to get 5 people on a conference call in 5 different time zones, and it's done maybe a year from now. So it's the ability to react, adapt, and just get things done quickly and efficiently.
It's amazing what you're saying. There's a book that just came out. Shout out to Jocko Wilkins. It's Extreme Ownership. He's also, I believe, attached to Lightspeed, who I work with now.
Right.
Have you heard of that book?
I have not.
He was a Navy SEAL, has a TED Talk with millions of views. He talks about leadership.
Sweet.
He was running the Iraqi forces at one point, and there's a point in the book where someone almost gets killed that's on his, it was like, what is that called when we shoot our own people?
Friendly fire.
Okay, doesn't sound that very friendly.
No.
And he's saying that how he overcame that tragedy was he took the blame for it.
Wow.
So he wrote a book about that story called Extreme Ownership.
Right.
And he talks about how when he takes it, now he coaches companies on leadership, helping companies build small teams within these giant companies.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whoa, light bulb went off. You were in this corporate giant where it took so long to get something done.
Right.
It just didn't get done.
And the team's a big point, right? So you come into a corporation, you work with what you have, or you're given what they have.
Yeah.
And you've got to make it work and mold it to what you want it to be. That smaller corporation, before I came into work for Common, I met every key player. I saw the culture. I wanted to be part of it. Now as we grow it, we can hand pick and hand select who we want to work with and make sure that it's going to be complementary, that we'll have that culture.
And make sure it layers itself and develops itself from day one with the right culture that matters, so that way it builds teams out as it goes.
No doubt.